Okay, so this is a CardWar game that we designed for our hackathon project. The CardWar game is a simple game that we decided to make using HTML, CSS, and Java. And we were going to implement a multiplayer function and a chat using the cloud, but we had some issues later on.
The game War, at its heart, isn't a very complicated game, which we thought would make it a perfect thing for our very first hackathon. So we used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to get a button you can press to make a deck and distribute it between you and an AI. When you press a button, it goes into the center of the screen, the new card, and if your card has a higher value than the AI's, you win that round. You can go as many times as you want. Next slide, please. Okay, so at the end result, we managed to make a very basic version of the game we wanted. So we wanted to have online capabilities using the cloud. We found this very much too difficult for us. As you can see at the bottom right, there's an entity relationship diagram, which just shows how a deck and how a card is structured and how we can interact with them.
Here is an example of the game. If I reload and restart it, starts off with 2 blank cards, and then you draw out 2 cards at a time. And it's simple. You press the button and it keeps going. So each time, if your card is bigger, it's smaller, and it's all just down to the luck of the cards. It shuffles a random deck and it splits it in 2, and it gives each half of the deck to a player to play with. And then they turn and take a card from the top, and then when they win, the 2 cards go to either the AI. If they win, the 2 cards go to them. If they lose, the 2 cards go to the AI.
The problems we went into during this challenge is due to the limited time and the online working circumstances. We also didn't have really much experience with the web design, web programming languages. So we needed to look up a lot of stuff from the internet. But that's the part of learning. And we tried to implement a multiplayer mode, but it was harder than we thought. So next slide, please. Can you skip the slide? So we could improve this by adding a multiplayer mode, so we can play with other people during the pandemic, which is what we were aiming for. And we could add to improve a chat function, so that we could talk with other people on the other side of the computer. We could send them emojis or gestures like a cup of tea, flowers or whatever. What else we could do to improve is add a more lively background and card animations so that it would be more appealing.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Okay, Henry, save the recording quickly. Stop it and save the recording. Now we need to just figure out how to upload